Alright. So, Therese. Therese reminded me of the guy in elementary school, right? And, you know, we live in a relatively small village. And it's not really that big of a deal. But a new guy came in called Therese. He was from wherever, at least not from, I mean, he might have been from the Netherlands. Either way, he wasn't white. So, and he very much had that, not a Chad vibe, but kind of that, you know, he was good looking. He was a good looking dude. So he gets in there, gets a relationship with the most popular girl and shit like that. And that kind of unfolded for a little bit. Then him and the most popular girl made out in like the place where you, in the bicycle racks, which led to them having massive talks with the school and shit like that. They just constantly had to talk to the teachers. And we were about to go on camp, right? We were about to go on final class camp, no big deal whatsoever. But because they made out in the bicycle racks, we could not have girls and guys in the same room whatsoever. Like, the school did not want that to happen, and they basically told her, like, yeah, what if you get pregnant or shit like that. You know, they just went on an absolute mad one. Now, in Netherlands in general, we're kind of chill with that. And then, like, we don't care too much. So, when we were on that camp, and mind you, we were like 10, 12 or so, something around that range. We were chilling with everyone in the room, like boys and girls, and we were like telling, you know, stories and just doing a little bit of truth and dare. No drinking involved because, well, once again, we were 10 around 12, so we weren't drinking. But it was kind of that situation where you would like some privacy. So what we did is we put one of the beds in front of the door so nobody could actually get in. Now, I don't think that would have been too much of a problem had it not been for them making out in the bicycle racks like a week prior. So as soon as the teachers found out, they were like banging on the door and shit like that. I was in the room and they were like, who put the bed in front of the door? And also in elementary school, I was not really the greatest student. As in, I was a little bit of an annoying kid. I could say it. I was an annoying kid. So let's just say they weren't too happy with me doing that. In general, they weren't too happy with me. But first we had a massive talk about who actually did it, right? Then, well, it came out that if we weren't going to say a name, they would send everybody home. Fucking Geneva War Convention is completely out the fucking window. There's no rules anymore whatsoever. The class punishment is right back where it doesn't belong. So I had to admit, because otherwise they'd snitch on me, and that would put me in a worse position, right? So I had to admit, look, it was me who put the bed in front, and I'll take responsibility. Cue massive talks once again, with shit like, oh yeah, but like we don't want that, you could get pregnant and stuff like that. Just a bunch of bullshit basically unfolding itself in my school once again. And I turned out to almost getting fucking sent home of, mind you, we're 10 until 12, around that age range. And I almost got sent home because I was like, you know what, we're having a private talk. Let's just have a little bit of privacy. It was an entire group as well. So they were, I guess, expecting our entire fucking class to just throw a massive gangbang with, like, everybody involved. What the fuck are you thinking? We're not gonna do anything. We're just chilling. We're just having a conversation between us people who are now getting closer because of, well, if you're going camp together, you get closer. And that's kind of the thing about camp. You do it to build group spirit. But no, I almost ended up getting sent the fuck home purely because they made out in a bicycle rack or like where you put your bikes. My school was mental, man. My school was mental. And then that was like the first day as well. Exactly. No, it was a mental one. We were 10 or like 12. I don't know what age we were anymore, but at least like very young. So that was only the start. So the rest of the days I had to be on my tippy toes because of one mistake and I was sent home. I was fucked off out there. They were like, yeah, no, piss off. You can go the fuck away because you were going to start a gangbang orgy with teenagers. No! Stop! What is that? My teachers, they absolutely despised me. And that's partly probably because I was always that kind of kid who could do better but didn't feel like it, so I was a little bit lazy and just like messing about more than I should. I used to play a shit ton of games as well, to be fair. But that is all started with Ferez, and that is not the end of Ferez just yet. He had a little brother called Pierre. Now, Pierre and Ferez, they were relatively wealthy. And around that time that they moved in, let's say, moved into our little village, there was a kind of rumor going around of there being a pedophile around the school who was flashing people. Now, it was all rumors and shit like that. People didn't really believe it and whatever. Now, me, I always on Mondays went to my grandparents, right? And then I had to cycle home like in the evening. So I had to cycle home in the evening, and I think, pedophile, where? Let's see whether I can see him because he's been spotted around school grounds. Stupid. But, you know, I did that anyway. That now comes to the question, what does all of this have to do with Pierre? Well, the motherfucker, he decided to take it up a notch and actually call the police on a rumor that the pedophile currently was situated near the school. Well, it being a rumor and us being kids, surprise, surprise, it was only a rumor. It wasn't true. There was no pedophile whatsoever. So the motherfucker called the police for absolutely nothing. Ended up getting like €1,000 fine because that's what you get for calling the police. And basically had to deal with a bunch of shit on school as well. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. They were rich motherfuckers, so I don't really think they care too much. But imagine just calling the police based on the rumor and kind of wanting to stand out. He looked like a little chipmunk as well. He was not skinny. Ferez was. But it was a little bit of a mental one. There ended up not being a pedophile, of course. But it was a thriller for a brief moment. It was an absolute thriller. So, you know what? Those are the stories that very much made me reminiscent of Ferez. Pretty much the only like non-Dutch person at that point in our school, because we live in a tiny fuck-up village and we don't really get like people from the outside. Or, I say people from the outside, like, if there's anybody not white, it's kind of like unusual, I'd say. I don't fucking care. I want to reiterate, I don't fucking care. But it wasn't as if, you know, we were a massively diverse school or whatever. So, them, and then having that kind of scandal probably threw a bunch of shit their way as well, with parents being angry because, oh, it's a small town village, probably a lot of people are racist. So that was the entire story of the whatever Fares made me remind myself of, and all the shit that went on in middle school. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Great outro once again.